All right, welcome to Waconia Ice Arena, everybody. Here for a Tuesday night matchup between the Waconia Wildcats and the Hopkins St. Louis Park Royals. Got about 9 seconds left on the clock before the warm-up buzzer sounds. Pucks are getting picked up, and we're about to get going here for the first game of two for the evening. All right, we about to get going here. Pucks are getting picked up. Got our varsity team and viewership here. Varsity team in attendance. Coach Grundhofer and Coach Barrick going over the final details with the team. Great start for the Wildcats so far this season. I think we're about a third of the way through the season at this point. Lots of wins. Lots of offense. Wildcats approach the face-off circle. Referee blows the whistle, beckons the Royals to the face-off dot. We're going to get started here. Waconia Wildcats are going to start with Kristen Strozak at center, Raven Brink at wing, Chloe Charbonneau at wing, Grace McLean and Addie Clemens at D. Puck drops, and it's into the Hopkins Royal zone. Brink gives chase. Puck met on the wall by Clemens. Brink with a chance, backhand to forehand, tied up. Wildcats getting started right away. Raven Brink, loose puck below the goal line. Centering pass to Strozak. That one's behind the net to Charbonneau. Open gate. Clemens is going to get shot on this one. Low shot, bad save. Not even a minute into the game, and we're getting a lot of opportunities for the Wildcats. Chance for the Royals. Great back check by McLean. Picks up the loose puck, created her own turnover. Pass to Charbonneau, and Charbonneau brings that one out of the zone. Wildcats going to get a change. Hopkins take advantage of that, dump it into the Wildcat zone. Clemens gets a stick on it. Chance for Hopkins, shot. Stanislawski makes the save, short side. Our first stoppage on the game, 14:03 left in the first. Just getting going here. Tuesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, a pre-Thanksgiving matchup here. Petz wins the draw back to Britz. Britz behind the Waconia net to Schutte. Schutte has Smith. That one picked off at the point by Hopkins. Britz gains possession. She's going to start the rush up ice. She chips around the defender. That one tied up on the wall. Britz and Simonson going to work, trying to win the puck battle. Hopkins regroups, D-to-D pass. That one's going to go on to Schutte's tape. She chips that ahead to Smith. Smith and Schutte battling on the wall. Schutte's able to kick that one ahead to Smith. Hopkins looks for the cross-ice pass. That one's going to go into the Waconia zone all the way on to Stanislawski. No icing, says the referee. Britz reverses. Britz, breakout pass to Brandt. Number 25, Ava Brandt, moving up through the neutral zone. Brandt chips in for Sylvia Berger on the play, forechecking. Brandt, nice play to get body position on the puck. Brandt, backhand pass off the side of the net. Schneider may have had a look at it there. Berger takes an angle. That forces a pass to the point to Clemens. Brandt has it. Brandt all alone. Shot high. Chest saved by the goaltender. That one's played to the corner. Brandt may have another chance here. Brandt looks low to Schneider. McLean picks up a loose puck. That one hits traffic. Strozak holds the zone. Strozak on her horse, staying on the attack. Wildcat forwards getting a change right now. It's like Charbonneau's coming on ice. Hopkins reverses behind their net. Pass off the wall, collected, and the Royals are out of the zone. Back check by Chloe Charbonneau. Got that one to McLean. McLean cross ice to Addie Clemens. Clemens to Brink. Clemens is going to dump that one, but that was behind the red line, so we're going to get an ice. Face off in the Wildcat zone. Josie Petz taking the draw with Ellie Simonson and Addie Smith at wings. We got Britz and Schutte at D. Petz pushed through on the draw, and that one got poke checked away, but Britz was able to clear the zone. Hopkins forced to retreat into their end. Royals wheel from behind the net and start a rush. Driving into the offensive zone or defensive zone for the Wildcats. Britz had a nice poke check there to negate the opportunity. Wildcats are at their best with a lot of pressure on the opposing team, forcing bad passes, taking advantage of turnovers. Hopkins dumps, rolling puck behind the Wildcat net. Brandt and Schutte head off an attacker. It's play by Simonson to pick up the loose puck and get out of the zone. Brandt may have a chance here. Brandt moves from back into forehand, get it poke checked away. Hopkins on the rush. Nice poke check by Britz. Wildcat defense doing a great job pushing all the attacks to the outside. Shot hits traffic. Hopkins defense, slap shot. That one found its way to Stanislawski. She made the save. Loose puck to the corner. Schneider on the forecheck. That one's played up the wall by Hopkins, and it's going to make it all the way down for an icing. $10:15 left in the first period. A whole lot of hockey to go tonight. A little break in the rain before the snow starts here in Waconia. At least that's what I heard earlier today. So happy we're playing at home. Puck drops. Hopkins rings the puck around the wall. Hopkins reverses. They regroup behind their net. Clemens pinches. She gains possession. Pass to the slot. Charbonneau. Loose puck goes to McLean. McLean shot from the tops of the circles. That one hit traffic. Hopkins starts the rush. Shot from wide. That one's wide of the net. Brink gets a touch. Looks to play that around the Royals defense. Shot off of Clemens' shin pad. Ends up on Strozak's stick. She looks for Charbonneau. Clemens, nice move to get the puck to Brink. Chance for the Royals. Shot. Glove saved by Stanislawski. Waconia Wildcats change up their forward and D's. Petz on the draw. Petz wins it to the wall to Simonson. Addison Smith picks up a loose puck. Smith drives wide. Has Petz in the middle. Petz, one-timer opportunity. That one's just wide of the net. Good stick by Josie Pets, forced that turnover. Schutte plays that one up the wall, gets it back. Poke check to Britz's stick. Britz steps to the middle and makes a nice pass to Simonson. Simonson driving on her forehand. She reverses, looks middle. Puck still hung up on the offensive blue line. Schneider drives wide. Schneider has Brandt. Brandt, backhand to forehand. Schutte with the shot. That one hits traffic. Second attempt, Schutte moving on her backhand. Always love seeing defense jumping up into the offensive play. Schutte, shot, low, rebounds loose. Left-handed shot, Britz, shot just wide. Brandt looks middle. That one goes through the goal mouth. Number 7, Sylvia Berger picks it up. Berger runs into a little bit of traffic. The puck comes out of the zone. Wildcats were able to gain possession there momentarily. That one's chipped ahead deep into the Wildcat zone. Britz ties up, has Brandt in support. Brandt picked up the loose puck behind the Waconia net. Passing attempt hits traffic. Hopkins, turnaround shot, that one hit traffic. Nice block by Britz. Schutte picked that one up next to the net. Off the wall, shot from deep, pad saved by Stanislawski. Loose puck collected by Britz. Britz chips that one ahead to Berger. Hopkins is going to be able to regroup. Wildcats are going to go for a change. Great back check by Charbonneau. Strozak battling through a stick check, has Brink come in for support. That one is going to clear the zone. And the Royals regroup. This is the forecheck I was talking about. Charbonneau made a nice play there, create that turnover. Got to get more of that, and the opportunities will come. Royals didn't have numbers on that rush. They decide to dump. McLean picks up behind her net. She reverses, passes Charbonneau. Charbonneau pass to Brink. Puck is going to stay in play. Deflected high off the glass. McLean, nice move in her zone to pass up to Charbonneau. That one hit traffic. Charbonneau's going to dump. Wildcat forwards go for a change. Gives Hopkins a lot of room to break out the puck. To keep one of those forwards on the ice. McLean making life difficult for one of the Hopkins forwards on that rush. Puck played to the point for Hopkins. Puck to the middle. That one's picked off by McLean. McLean pass to Simonson. Here comes Ellie Simonson. She has Pets in the middle. Simonson lowers the shoulder. She gains the zone. Hopkins regroups behind their net. Clean breakout for Hopkins. Drive wide backhand attempt hits the side of the net. Play to the middle. Shot. Pad saved by Stanislawski. Another shot just wide. Both teams getting some chances here in the first period. We're at 5:27 remaining. Schutte plays that one to Britz. Britz, nice touch pass to Brandt. Brandt played that one off the wall. It's going to make it all the way down past the goal line, be icing on the Wildcats. Ava Brandt lining up to take the draw. That one's to the middle. Chance for the Royals. Blocked by Schneider. Schutte's battling in the corner. Loose puck behind the net. Britz is going to pick that one up. Goes away from traffic. Pass off the wall to Berger. Berger pass to Brandt. And the Royals dump. Number 18, Emerson Schutte. She reverses back to Schneider. Shot from a bad angle. Stanislawski was able to block that one. Wildcats gain possession. Here comes Sylvia Berger driving into the offensive zone. Caught up on a back check. Royals are able to clear the zone, get a change, and McLean's going to pick it up. She's on her horse. Nice pass. Start the attack again, pass to Berger. Berger drives wide on her forehand. Pass goes through the net front, and Hopkins clears. McLean on the regroup for the Wildcats. Pass up to Strozak. Strozak driving into the offensive zone. She meets resistance. Hopkins picks up the loose puck. They retreat behind their net, looking for options. They only find Raven Brink on the forecheck. Charbonneau, nice play. Loose puck's going to go to Strozak. That one got just out of her reach and came out of the zone. McLean pass up ice to Charbonneau. That one's picked off. Royals may have a chance here. Driving behind the Waconia net. Nice recovery by Grace McLean. Shot just wide of the net. Hopkins gets the loose puck, pass to the middle, turn around shot. That one goes wide. Pass from low to high for Hopkins. Tip attempt. That one goes to the corner. McLean picks it up. She has not many options available, but she's going to dump that one and take the icing. But that got touched up, so no icing on the call. Wildcats can get on their horse here on the forecheck and take away some passing lanes just like that. A couple good sticks and gain possession. Ellie Simonson has it driving into the zone. Simonson still in the play. Has Pets in support. Hopkins works behind their net. Loose puck to the net front. Chance for the Wildcats. Cleared away by Hopkins. Ritz takes an angle. Pets on the back check. Hopkins step to the middle. Centering pass. Misses the mark. Smith looked to spring Simonson. That one got picked off. Hopkins cycles to the point. Ava Brandt picks up a loose puck. She's on the rush. Schneider in the zone with her. Brandt, nice move. Shot from high. Glove save. Rebound attempt for Schneider. Puck still loose. Schneider had another shot at it. Brandt stays in the attack. Puck's loose. Nice play by Clemens jumping in the zone. Clemens on her backhand. Shot just wide of the net. Minute 40 left in the first period. Wildcats getting some opportunities here. Berger short pass to McLean. McLean cross ice to Clemens. Clemens looked for Charbonneau. That one's played out of the zone. Strozak fresh on the ice. Had a touch on it. Hopkins drives wide. That one's blocked by McLean. Strozak breakout pass. Cross ice to Berger. Berger can split the D here. Berger with a chance shot. Hits the post. Great move by Sylvia. Great play by Charbonneau there to keep the zone. 1 minute remaining in the first. Schutte heads off the attacker. That allows Charbonneau to get the loose puck. Chance for Hopkins late here. Shot in a goal. Loose puck found its way up to the point and looked like a defenseman for Hopkins. They were fresh on the ice. They picked up the loose puck, got to the top of the circles, and fired one blocker high. Hopkins, St. Louis Park Royals are going to strike first. 50.3 seconds left in the first period. Doesn't take long to tie it. Here we go, ladies. Schutte, nice physical play to move that one ahead to Smith. Come to Royals, 2-on-1 opportunity. Shot, glove save by Stanislawski. 30.4 seconds left on the clock. Shots on goal in favor of Hopkins, 8-4. Buck drops. Pets ties up. Plays that one ahead to Smith. Smith pass to Simonson. Simonson, good poke check, pins the puck on the wall. That one played off the wall to Brits. Hopkins is going to ice. Like the referees were thinking about it, but late in the period, they decided to swallow the whistle, so it's all right. End of one. You've got the Hopkins St. Louis Park Royals leading the Waconia Wildcats. Good chances by both teams in that first period. We'll come back for the second. Minute remaining before we start up again. Say hi to our Waconia varsity Wildcats. We'll look around the arena here. Buzzer sounds. Teams are going to get back on the ice here. Stanislawski taking her spot in the cage. Wildcats are going to start the period with the Brant Schneider Berger line. Yeah, Brant centering the line tonight. Personnel switch. Got Schneider playing wing. Brant taking the draw. And Sylvia Berger at wing. Grace McLean and Addie Clemens at D. Puck drops. That one's played back to Berger. Berger to Clemens. Clemens to McLean. McLean surveys options. Passing the neutral zone to Brant. Brant starts the rush. Brant, look shot, drives low. That one's played behind the wall to Berger. Berger centering attempt. Berger gains possession. That one, puck battle behind the goal line. Played up the wall. Clemens pinches. McLean, nice play, stepping up. McLean walks in. She may have a chance here. Shot. They had caught a piece of the blocker, and that one goes to the sidewall. Played by Clemens to the goal line. Grant went for the poke check there. Hopkins on the attack through the neutral zone. They dump. They're going to get a change. McLean back to retrieve. McLean plays that one behind the net to Clemens. That one got a little bit out in front of her. Shot from a bad angle, but that one was steered away by Stanislawski. Clemens reverses behind the Waconia net. Breakout pass to Berger. Should chip that one ahead. Charbonneau may make a play on it. Berger picks up the loose puck. Berger drives middle. Has Charbonneau on her wing. Hopkins dumps into the Wildcat zone. McLean is going to retrieve. That one played to Brits. Found a Hopkins stick. Strozak passed to Brink off her skate. Hopkins regroups. Pass off the wall into the neutral zone. Hopkins dumps. 14, Leah Britz gets to it first. Look for Brink on that one. Strozak got a stick on it, plays that one into the Hopkins zone. Strozak with pressure. Hopkins going to be offsides on that one. I'll have a neutral zone face-off here with 12:49 left in the second period. Josie Petz on the draw with Smith and Simonson. At wing, Schutte has it. It's for Simonson. Simonson with pressure. Pass. Oh, looked like Addie Smith almost had a play on that one. Petz takes an angle. Hopkins enters the Wildcat zone. Nice poke check by Leah Britz. Wildcats behind their net. Schutte plays that one to Petz. Petz clears the zone. Hopkins regroups. Nice play by the Hopkins defenseman there. Patient with the puck. Wildcats head her off. Good pressure by Schutte and Britz. Looks like it's trapped underneath the Hopkins Royal. They're able to recover. Shot from high. That one wide of the net. Schutte was able to get enough on that one to move it to Petz. Petz to Simonson. Simonson gains the red line, chips ahead into the Hopkins zone. Schneider on the forecheck. Good stick by Sydney Schneider. Has Brandt. Shot just off of the blocker of the Hopkins goaltender. Nice save. Great opportunity for Wildcats. Loose puck goes to the point. Clemens. She cuts down low. Tipped by Schneider. Chance by Brandt. And it's going to be frozen by the goaltender for the Hopkins St. Louis Park Royals. Nice saves. Wildcats threatening here in the second period to tie this one up. This line's hot, so Coach Grundhofer is going to stick with Schneider and Brandt and Berger at forwards. Got McLean and Clemens at D. Schneider ties up and played below the goal line. Play by Brandt to get body position. Played back behind the net by the Royals. Clemens went for the pitch. Loose puck is on the wall. Brandt on the back check. Plays that one ahead to McLean. Chance for the Royals here. That one's going to go through the slot. Picked up by Berger. There's a chip around the Royal. McLean comes in to support. That one went off the side of the net. Schneider's going to get it. Plays that one to the wall. Hopkins dumps into the Wildcat zone. Centering attempt. That one's off the side of the net. Another centering attempt. That one found Brandt's stick. Shot off the wall, and that one caught Stanislawski by surprise. Pucks on net sometimes go in. That one did. Wildcats down a couple goals. .10:25 left in the second period. Wildcats catching up on shots on goal, 6-10 now. Still in favor of Hopkins. Charbonneau on the attack. That one played out of the zone by Hopkins. Hopkins moves into the Wildcat zone. Shot, blocker save by Stanislawski. Hopkins gets the rebound. Drives middle. Good play by Brink tying up the stick. Hopkins cycles to the point. Cycle down low. Schutte pins a player on the wall. Backhand pass is going to be steered away by Stanislawski. Strozak picks up that one. Held in the zone by Hopkins. Shot, glove save, rebound attempt. That one like went blocker high. Wildcats got a little bit far ahead of the play. A couple Hopkins forwards, they stood their ground, forced the turnover, and got a shot. Wildcats have a little bit of a hole to dig themselves out of here, but seen this team net some goals really quick. Teams line up. Puck drops. Cats ties up off the draw. Hopkins gains possession. That one comes out of the zone. Back in the zone, going to be an offsides. Personnel stays the same. Josie Pett's on the draw, number 3. Hopkins chips ahead in the Wildcat zone. Clemens is going to get that one. Clemens look to play that one to the corner. Reverses behind the Waconia net. Pass to Smith. That one's held in the zone by Hopkins. McLean has it behind the Waconia net. She brings that one up the wall to Simonson. Simonson takes off. Moves through the neutral zone with speed. She dumps. Addison Smith stays on the attack. Loses her stick. Puck's going to go up the wall to Hopkins. Berger able to get a stick on that one. It's played back to Schutte. Schutte cross ice to Britz. Britz touch pass to Brandt. Brandt cut middle. Shot. Glove save. The rebound laid loose there for a second. Hopkins rings that one up the wall. Britz met it. Comes back into the Hopkins zone. Smith looked to center to Berger. Berger, loose puck to Schutte. Schutte got tripped up. Wildcats are going to get a power play here. Offensive zone face-off for Waconia. Let's see if they can eat into this lead. Just takes one to get started. Waconia power play will be Sydney Schneider, Sylvia Berger, Ava Brandt, with Emerson Schutte and Leah Britz at D. Time for a goal, ladies. Let's do this. Loose puck, one to the point. Britz plays that one off the wall to Schneider. Berger, loose puck. She tried to get that one to the net front. Brandt in pursuit, forces a turnover. Schneider able to pick up the loose puck. Schneider with a shot. Blocker save. That one played below the goal line. Loose puck's going to go to Berger. Berger has some time. She moves it to Britz. Britz with a shot. Blocker save to the corner. Berger has it again, moves to Britz. Britz works low to Brandt. Brandt works up the sidewall, cuts to the middle. Poke check by Hopkins, and they're able to escape the zone. Hopkins circles back to the blue line. Hand pass. Referees were thinking about that one too. Schutte with the loose puck. She moves up ice, has a little bit of room in front of her. She's going to gain the red line and dump. Clearing attempt by Hopkins is successful. Stanislavski makes a stick save. She plays that one ahead to Schutte. Schutte regroups behind the Waconia net. Plays that one up the wall to Strozak. Strozak pass to Clemens. Clemens starts the rush. Clemens drives on her forehand side, pulls up. Looking to set up the power play for the Wildcats here. Puck comes out of the zone. McLean regroups. McLean works in the offensive zone with speed. She gets tripped up. 19 seconds remaining on the power play for the Wildcats. Played back deep in the Wildcat zone. Clemens will retrieve. Clemens reverses behind her net. Pass to McLean. McLean up ice to Charbonneau. Charbonneau gains the zone. Shot from deep. That one sticks safe to the corner. Hopkins plays that loose puck behind their net. Penalty time has expired. Both teams even strength. Hopkins on a rush. They have numbers. Great defensive play by Britz. Hopkins caught off sides. They have to tag up. Now they dump. This puck picked up by Hopkins. Pass to the crease. Puck still loose. Simonson picks it up. Simonson, nice breakout pass to Addison Smith. She's going to drive into the offensive zone. Smith pass to Pets, one-timer attempt, steered away by the goaltender. Pets centering attempt. She may still have a play on this puck. That one rung up the wall by Hopkins. They're able to clear the zone, but the Wildcats gain possession. Schutte, cross-ice pass to Simonson. Chipped ahead. Simonson on the forecheck. Great play by number 24, Ellie Simonson. Backhand pass to Brandt. Brandt with an opportunity. That one almost hopped over the shoulder of the goalie. Schutte holds his own. Hopkins works on the regroup. Schneider read that one. Brandt was wide open in front of the net if the Wildcats could have pulled off a clean pass there. Hopkins break out of their zone. Move the puck to the middle. Berger on the back check creates a turnover. Clemens for the pass. That one hit the side of the net. Tried to move that one to Emerson Schutte. Schneider reverses behind the Waconia net. That one's going to travel up the wall to Berger. Berger cuts to the middle. She's going to move that one ahead to Brandt. Brandt, big shot. Shot high, rebound to Berger. Shot off the pads, collected, and frozen by the goaltender for Hopkins. 4:14 left in the second period. Wildcats down 3-0 to Hopkins. Kristen Strozak lining up to take the draw with Chloe Charbonneau and Raven Brink at wings. Grace McLean and Leah Britz at D. Puck one to Brink. She got a shot. The outside hash marks. That one was gloved. Hopkins scored on a goal very similar, a shot just like that one. So puck's on net. Never know what's going to happen. Strozak with pressure. Hopkins moves out of the zone. That one's chipped ahead. That one's going to make its way down to Stanislawski. She's going to play that one. Tried to play it to Brink. Britz was on the back check. She was able to tie up the body. And puck chipped into the zone by the Hopkins Royals. McLean plays the puck behind the net. Charbonneau stepped into a Royal player. Wildcats break out of the zone. Strozak to Brink. No icing on the call, says the referee. Got a player down on the ice for Hopkins from that collision with Chloe Charbonneau. A few years back, I think Chloe ran into me on the ice too, and I probably looked the same way. For some reason, the team's migrated down to the Waconia zone, but when the whistle got blown, the puck was on the Hopkins side of the ice. So we'll get an offensive zone face-off for the Wildcats. Number 3, Josie Pets on the draw. Hopkins plays it behind their net. Reverse back behind the net. Centering pass, Schutte. She's able to get a stick on that one, force a turnover at the Waconia blue line. And played to Stanislawski. She steers that to Britz. Britz pass off the wall to Simonson is going to find its way all the way down across the goal line for Hopkins. The icing on the Wildcats. Wildcats change up their forwards. Going to have Ava Brandt taking the face-off. Brandt wins that one to the wall. Shot from the wall, hits traffic. McLean retrieves. Found a seam. Wildcats able to clear the zone. Hopkins dumps. Addie Clemens is going to get first touch on this one. Clemens, nice escape move. Finds Schneider. Schneider pass to Brandt. Brandt look for Berger. Berger plays that one around to Royal defenseman. Tied up. Loose puck off the wall to Clemens. Clemens chips that one ahead to Berger. Berger looks to go around the tops of the circle. She ran into an orange jersey, and Hopkins on the attack. Clemens steps up in the play, forces a turnover. That one tipped out of the zone by Schneider. Schneider looked for Berger on that one, played ahead of her, and doesn't have enough to be icing. Wildcats are able to change up all 5 players. Hopkins on the attack. Charbonneau takes an angle and forces a turnover. Clemens got a stick check, able to play that one ahead to Strozak. Charbonneau on the attack. Centering attempt by Hopkins. Shot hits a Hopkins skate. Shot just wide of the net. Brink makes a play on it. Orange jersey swarming at this point of the second period. We got about 1:12 left. Hopkins having up the Wildcats in their zone. Charbonneau has a clearing attempt. That one gets across the blue line. Hopkins dumps into Wildcat zone. Schute's going to pick up a rolling puck on the wall. For Charbonneau on that one. Puck's played behind the Waconia net by Hopkins. Clemens chips up the wall to Brink, held in the zone by Hopkins. Shot from deep, sticked aside by Stanislawski. Another Hopkins player on the ice. That one's going to make it down for icing. 29.7 seconds left in the second period. Wildcats in the defensive zone. Pett, Smith, and Simonson will be your forwards with McLean and Britz at D. Draw one by Hopkins. Shot on net. Pad save. Backhand attempt. Hits the side of the net. Hopkins cycles to the point. Walked down low. Shot. That one's deflected off of Simonson's skate. Chance for Hopkins here. Steered away by Stanislawski. Pett picks up the loose puck. Gains the zone. She's going to dump. And that's going to do it for the second period. We'll have a resurface here. Teams will head to the locker room. We'll come back for the third period. Be right back. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on the stream today. Appreciate you guys tuning in, watching the Wildcat ladies get going here on their Tuesday night matchups. Be back for the third period. And we're back for the third period. Welcome. We're joined by a couple members of the Waconia U12A team, recent champions of the Owatonna Shootout. Yeah, welcome, ladies. Introduce yourself.
I'm Avery Derringer.
And you are?
I'm Selena Dystra.
How did the weekend go, ladies?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, who did you guys all play?
In Omaha, Owatonna, and Elk River.
And a great turnout, tournament champions. Chance for the Wildcats here. Pass up the wall. That one's intercepted by Berger. Berger, we'll see you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Berger and Strozak working below the goal line. That one played into the corner by the Hopkins Royals. Played up the wall to Britz. Britz ahead to Berger. Berger sidesteps a Royal. Centering pass, picked off. That one's off the wall and played back into the zone by Britz. Charbonneau, fresh legs on the ice, picks that one off the wall, throws to the net front, nobody home. Royals break out of their zone, played in the neutral zone. Poke check by Schutte. Wrap around attempt, shot, saved by Stanislawski. Puck's loose in the slot. Schutte plays that one to the corner. Pins a player on the wall. Petz has the puck below the goal line. Look for Brink. That one got picked off. Charbonneau able to clear the zone. Puck's back in, and the offsides on the Hopkins St. Louis Park Royals. Wildcats down a few goals here. See what they can do to start eating into this lead. Strozak on the draw. Wins it to Smith. Smith passing the neutral zone to Strozak. Hopkins drives into the Waconia zone. McLean made a nice play there. No penalty. Smith played that one ahead to Strozak. Strozak in pursuit. Simonson looking to get a stick on it. Shot hits Strozak, goes behind the Waconia net. Wraparound attempt, that one hits the side of the net. Collision there with Strozak and a Hopkins player. Puck played up the wall to Smith. Smith pass to Simonson. Simonson works into the Hopkins zone. Hopkins starts the breakout. Drive wide, Schutte on the poke check. Centering pass picked off by Simonson. That one's played ahead, regrouped by the Hopkins Royals. Good play by Britz there, poke check. Loose puck came to Petz. Hopkins on the attack. That one's going to be a penalty on the Wildcats. I believe it'll be a tripping call. We'll see what the referee does. No signal. I believe it's a trip. 2-minute penalty on the Wildcats. 12-11 left in the third period. Shots on net, even and out here. Wildcats still down a few goals, but getting chances. Petz on the draw. Hopkins drives the middle, shot low. That one hit a skate, might have caught Britz. Played to the corner, and Schutte plays for the clear. Intercepted by Hopkins. Shot wide of the net. Loose puck to the Hopkins defense. Play from the wall to the point. Shot. That one deflected. Just wide of the net. Hopkins cycles low to high. Royals have some space here on the power play shot. Glove saved by Stanislawski. She got a piece of that one. Goes behind the net. Schutte picks up the loose puck. Tipped by Schneider. Puck is going to careen all the way down into the Hopkins zone. Royals retrieve Strozak with pressure. Strozak with a chance. Backhand opportunity off the post. Puck played up the wall. Nice pinch by Clemens. McLean able to hold the zone. Strozak with pressure below the Hopkins goal line. Hopkins on the rush. They have numbers 3 on 2. Well, they go opt for the change. 40 seconds left on the power play for the Hopkins Royals. McLean plays that one to Strozak. Strozak chips out of the zone. 30 seconds remaining on the power play for Hopkins. Cross ice pass for the Royals. Drive middle, shot, glove save by Stanislavski. Centering attempt, that one, Stanislavski got a stick on it and opted for the cover. Wildcats finishing up the penalty kill here. 16 seconds remaining. Wildcat forwards for the remainder of the penalty kill will have Josie Petz and Raven Brink with Emerson Schutte and Leah Pritz at D. Brink spots a loose puck. And it's hung up on the blue line at the Wildcat zone. Played ahead to Schutte. Schutte off the wall to Brink. Brink chips into the Royal zone. Penalty time has expired. Wildcats are back to full strength. Wildcats are going to have to tag up on that one. No ice on the play. Brink and Charbonneau. Loose puck to Britz. Britz shoots. Shot off the side of the net. Charbonneau got to it first. She goes around the top of the circle. That one played off of a Hopkins stick into the neutral zone. Britz collects. Britz, nice pass ahead to Strozak. Puck is going to find its way across the goal line. No icing. Puck played in the neutral zone. Schutte to Clemens. Clemens walks into the offensive zone. Pass to the middle. That one caught Strozak's stick. And off the wall. Royals may have a chance. Breakaway attempt here. Shot just wide of the net. Hopkins player hit the wall hard. She's up. Schneider moves through the neutral zone. Clemens regrouped to McLean. McLean off of Schneider's stick. Played ahead into the Royal zone. Run up the wall by the Royals. McLean went for the pinch there. Wildcats dump. Hopkins moving through the neutral zone with speed. Driving wide. Schutte's going to pick up the loose puck. She plays that one up the wall to Addison Smith. Smith off of Petz's skate. That one stayed in the Waconia zone. Britz picks up a loose puck. Circles. Cross-ice pass. Has Smith open. Smith backhand pass to Strozak. Strozak on her backhand cuts middle. That one poke checked away. Played off the wall and out of the zone by the Royals. Strozak looked for Simonson. That one's off the board. Simonson had a play on it. Strozak takes an angle. Clemens holds the zone. Actually looks like that one came out. Going to be an offsides on the Wildcats. Third period, 7:40 remaining in the game. Wildcats need one more forward before the puck drops. Puck drops anyways. Brink works into the zone. Charbonneau got a piece of that one. Puck comes to McLean. McLean with a shot from the point. Rebound loose. Charbonneau got a little crossed up in front of the net, but they're getting pressure. Smart play by Chloe going to the net hard. Oh, man. Sydney Schneider caught a puck to the solar plexus. I swear if that one hits a coach, you might see somebody getting hauled off on the stretcher. Don't rub it, Sid. You can't rub it. Don't rub it. Just like getting hit by a pitch. There you go. That means she's going to score a goal. Schneider fresh on the ice after getting smoked by a puck on the bench. On the forecheck, that one's played ahead to McLean. McLean regroup pass to Clemens. Clemens retreats into the Waconia zone. Goes behind the net to McLean. McLean back to Clemens. Shot from the point through traffic, just wide of the net. Hopkins setting up behind the Waconia net. Reverse shot. That one caught Petz's shin pad, and that one's to the wall. Shot from a bad angle. Tip attempt just wide of the net. That one's played past the net front, too. No harm, no foul. Hopkins works from low to high. Backhand attempt. That one caught McLean's stick. Berger picks up the loose puck. 2-on-2, it's an opportunity for the Wildcats. Berger has speed. She drives wide. Has Schneider in the slot. Shot. Rebound behind the net. Approaching the 6-minute mark here in the third. Berger works low. Pass to the point. Schutte holds his own, sidesteps an orange jersey. She's going to dump into the zone. Berger's going to get to it first. Loose puck comes to the point. Pinned down the wall, and Hopkins able to clear the zone. Ritz picks up a loose puck. She starts the rush. She drives wide. Shot. Save went behind the goal line for Hopkins. Rebound came a little high in the zone. They're able to start a rush. Smith on the back check, able to tie up a stick and allow a trio of Wildcats to come in and force that turnover. Strozak with pressure. That one's played up the middle of the ice. McLean picks it up. McLean runs into a little bit of traffic. Hopkins on the rush. Ellie Simonson on the back check. Great play by 24. Hopkins works through the neutral zone with speed. Clemens with the poke check. Nice escape move. Retreats behind the Waconia net. Turns up ice. Clemens with speed. Clemens cuts middle. Kicks out to the outside. Pulls up on the wall. Pass to Petz. Petz plays it up to the point to Charbonneau. That one will sneak out of the zone. Schutte's able to collect. Schutte works middle. Couple nice toe drags. Schutte has Brink. Puck poke check behind the Hopkins net. Clemens is going to pinch. He's behind the Hopkins net. Brink with support. Hopkins able to force the turnover. Wildcats have to back check here. Backhand to forehand. Nice save by Stanislawski. Loose puck behind the Waconia net. Picked up by Charbonneau. Charbonneau runs into the referee. Loose puck to the slot. Schutte has it. Schutte pass to Strozak. Strozak touch pass to Brink. Gets it back to Strozak. Like we're going to get a penalty here on Hopkins. Tripping penalty. Strozak. Fresh on the ice. Caught a pass, went back to Brink. Brink went back to Strozak, and the Hopkins Royal defenseman got a stick in her feet. Tripped up Kristen. The Wildcats are going to get a power play opportunity here late in the third period. 3:43 remaining in regulation. Kristen Strozak taking the draw with Sydney Schneider and Sylvia Berger at wings. Ritz and McLean at D. Puck to the point, shot by McLean, hits traffic. Wildcats working to get possession. Puck played off the wall. Ritz heads it off. She chips deep. Berger locks up in a battle. Strozak comes in to support. Strozak behind the net, centering a pass. That one hit a Hopkins stick and cleared out of the zone. McLean retrieves. McLean to Britz. Britz looks for Schneider. Wildcats able to hold that one on the wall, and they dump. Strozak gets a stick on it. She chips into the zone. Pass clears the blue line. Wildcats have to regroup. Schutte finds Berger. And Hopkins clears. 55 seconds remaining on the power play for the Wildcats. Schutte plays that one ahead, picked off by the Royals. Schutte got a stick on that one. Centering attempt, picked off by Petz. Petz to Berger. Berger, cross-ice pass to Smith. Hopkins able to clear the zone. Schutte regroups to Smith, or Clemens. Clemens to Simonson. Simonson centering pass. Finds Schutte. Schutte works on her backhand. Pass intercepted. Gritz is going to be able to hold the zone here. She chips into the corner. Puck careens around the wall to Charbonneau. Charbonneau looking to center. Charbonneau pass is going to be held by Leah Britz. Britz has some room in front of her. Walks low, shot. Nice snapshot by Leah Britz. Blocker save though. Britz has some more time. Britz played that one for the net front, and that one's cleared by Hopkins. Penalty time has expired. Minute 30 remaining in regulation. Wildcats work in their zone. Shot wide of the net. Schutte plays that one to the corner. Schneider working through some resistance. Chance for the Royals. Backhand attempt wide of the net. Brink picks up the puck on the wall. Pass to Strozak. Strozak chips that one ahead. 1 minute remaining regulation, says the announcer. And that one finds its way across the goal line. Wildcats are going to get called for icing. A defensive zone faceoff with 56.4 seconds remaining in regulation. Looks like the Royals can get a couple more players on the ice here. And here they come. Draw one by Petz, wins that back to Clemens. Clemens works behind her net, plays it up the wall to Schneider. Schneider backhand pass cross ice. Berger in pursuit. Royals clear the zone. That one comes through the neutral zone to McLean. McLean pass to Clemens. Clemens finds Schneider. Schneider able to get a touch on that one. That's played into the Hopkins zone. About 30 seconds remaining in regulation. Hopkins gets a clean breakout. McLean got a poke check on it. Smith plays that one out in the neutral zone. Hopkins drives middle, shot. That one blocked by McLean. Berger cuts to the middle, kicks that one ahead. And the buzzer's going to sound. That'll do it for a first of two matchups between the Waconia Wildcats and the Hopkins St. Louis Park Royals. Wildcats on the losing end today, 0-3 to the Hopkins St. Louis Park Royals. A lot of good opportunities for both teams. Shots on goal, pretty equal. In favor of Hopkins, 18 to Waconia's 14. We'll leave the mic on for as the Waconia Wildcats skate off the ice, and thank you everybody for joining. We'll be back with the varsity broadcast in a little bit, probably about 20 minutes, half an hour, so we'll see you back on the next one. Thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great night.